Hey there, guys. Welcome back. I definitely want to talk about the Tesla trade coming up here. So I'm just trying to bring to you what I'm doing here with my Tesla trade. And I've been following some of the trends on this uh, Tesla chart here. We have earnings coming out on October 21st. So the estimate on that is 55 cents a share, which they've beaten in the past. And I just wanted to show you that on the daily chart here, we definitely have a consolidating wedge pattern. So the lowest we've hit here after the split, we hit about $330 a share. So from there, we've been on this upward trend. I've definitely been adding to it from 330 up to about the $410 range. I haven't recently been adding to the Tesla trade, but it looks like here we're about to break out through this consolidating wedge pattern here. Now this is a rough estimate on the consolidating wedge. Obviously, you have to take some of the peaks here, so you have to add a tolerance, just showing the whole wedge pattern here. But if we look at what Tesla did in the past, let's just go and look at the history of this and see what happened the last time. So the last time before we had the earnings call, you saw this kind of big hype come up here for Tesla. So, there was a lot of talks about Tesla entering in the S&P, so you had a lot of news and things like that coming out. And I think a lot of investors were um, kind of over guiding the stock. They were estimating it would do a lot more than it actually would. So if we look here, you basically have the same type of consolidating wedge pattern before the last earnings call. So you had this consolidating wedge, and then you had this breakout right here, and then on July 22nd, earnings came out, and even though they blew away the earnings call, and even though the forward guidance they gave was great, the stock still fell because investors were definitely looking at blow away earnings calls. So even though they did really well and they beat the estimates and they were in the positive, they didn't overwhelm investors to have the $332 a share price. So that thing dipped all the way back to about $310 a share. So since then, since that point, the day after, the stock has been falling about $275 share, and you see it did the same thing here. So just looking at the past is somewhat of a gauge on what happens to Tesla. You basically have a lot of hype going into the earnings call. The expectations are really high. So I'd say if we break the $448 level, the $450 level, that's definitely a major spot of resistance. As you can see here, 450 has been tested. We're looking here once, twice, three, four, five, six, 7 times, and just couldn't break that level here and sustain it. So if we definitely break this $450 level, I can see this thing definitely running up to maybe $500 a share before the earnings call on the 21st. Now, my plan is to slowly accumulate Tesla stock, even though it isn't broken out of the wedge pattern yet. Just maybe adding a share or here on dips. For you people that don't have a lot of money to buy in the Tesla, if you don't have a lot, which I don't have a massive amount of money myself, you could always purchase fractional shares. So, maybe buying on dips and adding a little bit here, and kind of riding this uptrend. If we do see an uptrend, if we do see a breakout from this wedge, if we don't see a breakout, I would definitely try to back out of some of the positions that you've taken. Now, this also has a lot of other factors too. Just with the general market trends, if we don't get a stimulus package, you could definitely see a pull back in the market. That's a factor that we didn't have here at the last earnings call. Looking at the history of Tesla stock right here, we definitely had, this was a little ways after the stimulus package, so we didn't have to worry about that. We also have the elections coming up on November 30th, so it's a good thing that this earnings call is before the November timeframe because we don't have that much of the like the politics to basically worry about. But I definitely think if there's stimulus talks failures, this thing could have a downfall with the rest of the market. Not anything against Tesla stock, just in tech and general. But if you're a long-term trader in Tesla, I wouldn't worry about any of this. But even if you are a long-term trader, you could definitely maybe pull some profits here in the short term to lower any losses that you might had in the stock. Maybe purchase a few shares if this thing breaks out of the 450 range, ride it up to 500 bucks a share before the earnings call. Sell those shares, hold what you want past the earnings call. If you're willing to take a risk, I don't see anything crazy happening with Tesla. But like I said, even if they smash the earnings call and after hours the stock rises, I wouldn't be shocked if the following day it's at a negative price. So just want to bring that trading view that I have on the Tesla stock, and that's what I'm looking to do. I'm definitely a long-term Tesla holder, but like I said, it's a very small portion of my portfolio, and even though you're a long-term trader, there's nothing stopping you from taking a few shares and making some profit in the near term, um, even if you're a long-term holder of the stock. So, all right, guys. Well, if you like what we talked about, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.